You have all these good ideas in your head and you want to write a story, but you don't know what you want to make the theme. You know that all good stories have a good theme, but what if you choose the wrong one? And what even is a theme? In this video, I'll take you over everything you need to know about theme and give you the advice that helps guide me through my stories. First, I want to start by asking you, what is the theme of Breaking Bad? If you haven't seen it, what is the theme of your favorite show or story? Now, your answer to that was probably a long, drawn out but if it wasn't, it was either a single word or it could have even been a full on sentence. Only one thing is for certain. If you ask 100 people, many of them won't even know. And of the ones that do, a lot of them will give you wildly different answers, and some of them will outright contradict each other. So let's get into why. Theme is kind of something that is more subjective than you would initially think. In the dictionary, it says a theme is a subject or topic of discourse or artistic representation, or that it could even be a proposition. Even with that definition, it leaves a lot to be desired, if you ask me, and in some ways, it's a little too vague and leaves the average person saying, what does that even mean? So basically, what are you asking the reader with this work? What are you suggesting or proposing? But back to our example of Breaking Bad. When I asked you what the theme was of that, maybe you said it was crime or desperation or ego or even something like wasted potential. Walter could have changed the world with his intellect, but instead he's working a mostly dead-end job that he hates, and he doesn't make enough money, so he has to take on a second job that he hates. And then when he does his first sort of foray into the underworld, he teams up with a former student of his that failed, not because he wasn't smart enough to pass the class, but because he just flat out didn't apply himself. There are a lot of people in the belief camp that theme can't be one word. It has to be a sentence because it is a lesson. It's about what the art teaches you. If, for example, crime doesn't pay, desperation will lead to mistakes, you don't appreciate what you have until it's gone. You could argue that every single one of these is correct, and notice that there is not just one answer. You can put as much thought into your theme as you want, but don't be intimidated of or afraid of the concept. If you don't have a theme, just go out and write and discover your story. If you make good characters and you let them have autonomy, they will end up creating themes by themselves. Learn who your characters are, give them a want and a need. The want is a more surface level thing, like what do you desire? They can give that answer real quick and easy. The need is a deeper, more personal thing, and it is what fuels and drives that want. It is their need is formed by their experiences and who they are as a person. So as long as you give them that and you have them act with their own autonomy as their own person, you will be making commentaries and themes regardless of whether you intend to or not. Now you take that character and you put them in a story that is at least somewhat related to that want and that need, or at least a story that has big personal stakes for them that they can't walk away from. If you set up a situation like this, there's literally no way to not have theme. No matter what, you are making suggestions and propositions and proposing lessons. And you don't even have to know what these themes are. You just have to actually finish the art and let it stand on its own and speak for itself at this point. Remember, most people can't even tell you what the theme of their favorite story is. They still enjoyed it and took part in it regardless. And even if they can tell you what the theme is, if they set it to the writer, there's a decent chance the writer might go, "Oh, I never even thought about that." Because there's, in a lot of ways, an almost infinite number of answers. You can just write and tell stories that you like without concerning yourself about stuff like that. Just enjoy yourself. Above all else, do it for you, not for some art snobs that are looking for an excuse to hate on your work anyways. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you got any questions, leave one in the comment section down below.